unbelievable video emerging from another Alberta community struggling with the flooding disaster.
Situation also dire, for folks in Hidden Valley, about an hour east of Calgary. Highways there have been cut off, and on some parts of the Siksika First Nation, water levels have reached the rooftops.
I'm standing in front of a bridge between Hidden Valley Resort and the Siksika First Nations band, and as you can see, it's a bridge to nowhere right now. That's because the resort is completely submerged. I spoke to some people from the Siksika band, and they said nearly 200 of their homes are also submerged in water, so they are suffering big time as well right now. And some of the cabins from the resort have actually come off the foundation and hit the bridge. 3 cabins, what we've heard of, have come and hit the bridge. There's actually part of a roof still attached to part of that bridge. Now, I'm just going to bring the camera in. You can see the area just on the edge of the bridge, the cement, the soil. It's going away right now, and that's scary because that could mean that this entire bridge could be wiped out in just a matter of days.
This home getting swept away by the powerful Bow River from the Hidden Valley Golf Resort. It here comes, smashes into a bridge, lost forever. Now, 4 communities at Siksika Nation as well as the Hidden Valley Resort have suffered serious flood damage. 1,000 people have been forced out of their homes. A boil water advisory is in effect on the Siksika Nation, and an emergency reception center has been set up at the Deerfoot Sportsplex.
That very day, myself included, watching it, we didn't have time to decide to take anything out of our home. We'd thought we would never ever rise that high.
It's been about coming 4 weeks now. It's been very dreadful for me and very overwhelming.
Realizing that your life is going to be different. And you need to take time to work through the emotions, and you need to talk to people.
Just been here too long, and my days are gone. I can't think about it. Our house broken down apart.
About to make the announcement right now. So at approximately 11 o'clock, he made the announcement over the radio.
Grabbed myself and what we can, like an overnight bag and that, and we left, and we barely got out of South Camp.
Well, I knew we were done. We were already up to our ankles in water. Started warning the neighbors, we gotta go. Told them it's coming. Got to get out. And they started packing what they could. We came up the hill and we just watched.
I miss my home. Just being home, bed, shower and everything.
I probably got about 5 families, 6 families.
I was there in 2005. It was pretty traumatic for some of the people in the valleys. This year, you know, it being approximately 4 times worse than 2005. The impact for our people is very significant. What Tom wanted me to do is he wanted me to set up the sportsplex, because we had already had in our plan that the sportsplex would be where we're going to house most of the people.
Places for people to sleep, organize the food, organize the clothing, all the donations, to assist the people with giving out information, and then coordinating the activities for the children. Just trying to think if I covered them all. Altogether there was 15 different stations. So when this came about, then within a week we knew we needed help.
Kind of just came to check out and see what was needed and check in on people that we know and care about. And very quickly realized there was a significant need for volunteers, particularly in helping sort donations and do some of the demo and cleanup of the homes.
We just love serving. You know, it's great to have an opportunity like this. It's unfortunate there was a disaster, but it's great to be able to reach out and make a difference.
The food comes from certain organizations from actually coordinated through Red Cross. There's GFS, food banks, donations from the volunteers, from families from off the reserve, companies. Great people out there just bringing stuff in. And, you know, helps feed them, and plus we got stuff here for the kids. I mean, certain items, but you know, at least it helps.
Yeah. And who are the people behind you?
These here are my, they're students, summer students that were brought in the last couple of days, and we also got volunteers, and not only from off the reserve, we got a few of them, and then we also got the companies. I mean, we got stuff here that to get them through for a couple of days. Each hamper is for a family of 4, and you know, helps feed them, and plus we got stuff here for the kids. I mean, certain items, but you know, at least it helps.
Housing has a lot of things that they're trying to do. As you can see, they're trying to prepare those trailers for temporary housing for residents. So there's a site just going on behind the sports center here. There's another one going, I believe, by Crowfoot School, and another one by Poor Eagle Flats, somewhere in that area.
But people in their homes, because as we know, I mean, families. You got the Poor Eagles, you've got the Mini Bears. They've been in their area for decades upon decades. You know, their grandparents, their parents, and then themselves. So the impact for the nation itself is immense.
This is what they have did so far. They have gutted everything out. I used to have a big room down there.
I've always cherished my home. It was my home that my husband and I had made a home of it, and I never realized how much I took for granted.
We did try to wipe out everything.
We're right beside the homeowners through this whole experience. We're praying with people, we're listening to stories, we're taking care of the contents that we're removing from the house. What I tell my teams is that you're not taking out garbage. You're taking out stories, you're taking out memories, achievements, and awards from someone's house. And although it appears to be muddy and moldy and what we would call garbage, we refrain from those words because they have intrinsic value to them. And we want our volunteers to, approach our work here in these communities with that in mind. So the homeowners feel respected, they feel valued, and they feel like they're being cared for.
Just to see my home in a terrible mess, and the smell of the house, all the things that you had cherished were damaged. And that was really heartbreaking for me. It's to the point where you think, where do you go from here? What's the next step? What do I do first? I just lost my home. Is there anybody going to be, is there anybody going to put themselves in my shoes?
You're worth fighting for. Your land, your houses, your stories are worth fighting for. And you and your families are all worth fighting for. That's why we're here. We're not giving up on you. We're not forgetting about you. We're working together.
We're Siksika Nation people, right? We were a family. We looked after each other's kids. We looked after each other's grandmas. We looked after the weaker ones. It didn't matter who it was. We were one tribe. And it's important for us to get back to that, to those grassroots, as what the elders would say.
With our people, like I say, they're very strong people, and I just hope that they have a little more patience, and sooner or later we'll overcome this thing and get back to where we are. It's not going to be quite the same.
Because of that unity, I think relationships will be deep and strong, and at the end of the day we'll experience something together that we all can reflect back on in a couple of years and remember the time that we united. And I think that's a pretty powerful experience.
Our people are very resilient and very patient, and that's one of the good parts of our people, is that they bounce back pretty fast.
Thank you.